So the first thing we're going to do is start with some ankle mobility, kind of loosen up those ankles. So I lie on my back, and you'll notice that I'll kind of lift one foot up, and I'm just sort of flexing my foot. So I'm pushing my toe out and then pulling my toe back toward my shins. And I'll get like, 8 to 10 of those. And then what I think about is I think about just trying to make a big circle with my big toe, and I'm really trying to just keep that the only thing moving. So again, I'll do like 8 to 10 circles one direction, and then I'll do 8 to 10 circles the other. I'm trying to keep my foot nice and steady and just make a big circle with my big toe. And then after I finish, I'll switch and do the other side. So one thing that we just want to make sure is that we are keeping our ankles nice and loose, and get as much range of motion that we can with them, because if we're not, usually people that have tight ankles and stiff ankles, usually correlates with some knee pain and stuff like that. So real important to we always start off with some type of ankle mobility. So this will be the first one, just the ankle circles. The next one that we're going to move into is the glute stretch. So lying on my back, I'm just going to sort of cross one foot over the knee, and you'll notice like I'm just kind of, as I take a breath and as I'm exhaling out, I'll try to pull a little bit deeper. And right there, I'm getting that outer left hip and just kind of really sinking into that. So I usually take like maybe 5 breaths. So I cross that leg, inhale through my nose, and then as I'm exhaling, I'm going to try to pull a little bit deeper, try to sink into that stretch a little bit, keeping my low back in. And again, so with each breath, I'm trying to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. But this is a great, now we're kind of moving into our hip mobility series. So just kind of, these are going to be a series of hip stretches. So the next one, I'm going to take my right leg and step up to the outside of my right hand, making sure that my left knee is back. And I'm just going to get my chest up. I'll show you from this angle. Chest is up, and you can see that I have my back is pretty straight. I'm not arching at my back, sort of let my hips kind of do it. So that you're kind of working both sides of the hip right there, but you'll see from this. So I've stepped my left leg up, make sure that you can see that my knee's sort of behind my hip, that right knee, and I'm just kind of driving my hips forward, and I'm getting a good stretch in that hip area. So usually what I'll do is maybe like 10 to 20 seconds holding that position, different angle right here. You can kind of play around with that position too and sort of rock your hips side to side, but you want to make it a little uncomfortable. The next thing that we do is, you'll see I walk my knees outside my hips, so and then I'm just going to straighten one leg out to the side. And I want to make sure that that toe that's straightened out and my knee is in a nice straight line. I'll show you from this angle. So I'm kind of straight now. I'm keeping my back nice and straight, and then all I'm going to do is just rock my hips back and forth. I'll get like 8 to 10 rocks, but that straight leg, that inside leg is the leg that we're going to do. So you want to make sure that you walk your knees outside your hips. You're going to straighten one leg out to the side. Get that foot flat to the ground, and you're just going to sort of rock your hips back and forth. The next thing that we're going to kind of work on, that's our hip stretches. So now we're going to kind of go into and trying to activate the glutes. So I'm going to kind of push my heels up to my butt. I'm going to point my toes up, and I'm just going to push my heels into the ground. And you can play around with where your heels are at. You can see I kind of walked my feet forward a little bit. I want to feel this in the glutes. So I don't want to feel this in my hamstrings, and I don't want to feel this in my low back. So you have to kind of play around with where you are. But this is a great activation to sort of be able to turn that on. And then the next thing is our core series. So we're going to get into a plank position, and we're going to hold the plank, and just kind of, I usually would say like about 20 seconds. Then I'm going to go into a side plank. You can see I'm kind of on my knees. So I'm kind of cutting it off, and I'm going to try to get myself in a nice straight position. And then I'll get the other side. But usually what I'll do is about 20 seconds or so each side. But you're just in that position. You're really trying to generate as much activity as you can in your core. So you're trying to like squeeze and brace and all of that. So you don't have to hold it for that long if you're really truly bracing. So you have the front plank, the side planks, and then right here, we're going to kind of get in our bear crawl position. And what I'm going to try to do is we're going to do a shoulder tap. So ideally, it's really tricky. I'm going to just sort of bring my hand up and touch the opposite shoulder, and I'm really trying not to move my hips. So the whole purpose of this is that we're kind of paying attention to the hips, and we don't want the hips to sort of rock up and down. If they are a little bit, that's okay, but like we're trying really to control the movement of the hips right there. But overall, I think these exercises will be a great starting point if you can kind of incorporate this on a daily basis. I think you'll see a lot of value out of it.